We're fine, right? Oh yeah, we're totally fine. Except that, wait, hold on a second. Okay, no, it's on YouTube we're fine. Twitch we're fine. Okay, let me just. Oh, you got here fast. Uh, hello, hello. I'd say you're on time if I were lying. Ah! I've been roasted. I'm not sure I'm going to recover from that one. I'm going to mourn by drinking a little bit of tea. What kind of tea is this? I can't decide if I like it or hate it. Also, how are you? Actually quite good. A little tired. That's because I spent too much time yesterday playing the Rivals 2 beta and then discussing philosophy and politics with somebody. And I still had to get up for school, so yeah, I couldn't exactly, like, you know, just sleep in. But it's fine. I'll go to bed on time and tonight, and then it'll be fine. I have my priorities in order, right? Because I can't play Rivals 2 anymore. It's 1 weekend per month, so I mean. Okay, strong start. Already mouse slipping our queen. I may have bought more books. I bought a notebook. I went to a, it's basically a flea market. But it's like an artisan festival flea market sort of thing. And I bought a notebook. And y'all are gonna laugh. Okay, give me a second, let me find it. Let me find the notebook. Y'all are gonna laugh. Bought American Psycho and some Zola book. Interesting. I wonder if American Psycho's any good. I mean, that sounds stupid, but like, the movie itself was incredibly bizarre, so I wouldn't put past the author for the book to be terrible. That might be a little bit of a rude way of putting it, but the book is pretty good. Oh, really? Notebooks are honestly sick. I own many. I need more. Actually, my current notebook that I'm using, I was using for classes, I've been using since like semester 1 of college. And I'm in semester 4, and I'm now running out of space. So it's served me pretty well, but it needs replacing. Interesting. Well, in that case, that's super cool. Anyway, so it's like leather bound, and it's fancy handmade. But the funny part, Interstellar. I swear he just had it on his shelf. There was no like custom. I got a specific one that I wanted or anything. So it clasps and then it opens up and. I know. And look, it's replaceable pages. So even when the notebook fills up, you can just replace it with smaller notebooks or just paper, plain paper, and so, which is amazing because it means I can just continue to use this notebook. I have a leather-bound one I bought in Florence. I bought this one in, again, the flea market in Thessaloniki. Not going to pretend it's as cool as Florence. However, I still like it. It's still empty because I have absolutely nothing worth writing in it. I'm gonna go with a based. That's my answer. Again, I just need a notebook. So, I don't like spending money. And so, I wanted to get something from the artisan festival, but the market, but because I do it like once a quarter. But I wasn't sure when. I knew I wanted to be something I would use, and so I got a book. In hindsight, a mug would have also been pretty sick. They had a ton of really, really interesting handmade mugs. And I would have also used one of those, since, I mean, I frequently have, like, coffee or tea or whatever. I'll play you. I'm 2900. Well, guess what? I'm 22,000 in denial, right? I've been 2,000 for, like, forever because I haven't been grinding at all. But I'm still in denial about it, and I'm convinced that it's not a skill issue. So, if that's not a deal breaker, then I'm good. I can be there. Winnable, right? I'm fine with that. I also mouse slipped my queen in this game on like move 4. So that tells you where things are in life. Actually, it was a move 5, I'm sorry. It's leather bound, whatever it is in it has to be good, you know? But see, that's the nice thing about this one. Because I can replace the pages, there's no pressure to actually write something worth writing. I can put garbage in it, and I can just replace the pages when I realize the garbage is garbage. It's genius. This guy's taking a surprisingly long time to kill me. I mean, I'm still dead either way, so I'm not like trying to claim that, oh, no, I actually have a counterplay and compensation and winnable. Isn't this a theoretical draw? Fortress for white? Yeah, definitely. Fortress is exactly how I would describe this position. If I had to think of a single word to describe this position, it would be drawable. But yeah, so he had a few other ones. He had like a Van Gogh one. He had Fight Club. He had Lord of the Rings. He had a few different books, and he had like Marilyn Monroe. A bunch of just random stuff. Pretty sick. Oh yeah, I remember Flick's mentioning in the new EP. I have not listened to it, but I am judging by the reaction that it is worth listening to. I'm assuming that's a yes. Let me just open up my music. I swear I've listened to Maru before, and the fact that I don't remember it, I think is a bad sign. So, Kanya's Wall, I'm assuming is what we're talking about here. Yeah, because Zeitgeist one song's about. Okay, I'll just start the EP. Sorry, but I'm ignoring your request, and I'm just listening to the EP. Because evidently, it's just that good. A little birdie told me that EP good. Oh no, the horror. I know, I'm evil. I'm crazy. To me, silly string is just normal string. The EP, you mean? I'm the Joker, baby. Oh, I can't do it. I can't intentionally voice break that hard. So I'll tell you one thing. I'm digging this instrumental start. I'm vibing with it. I quote that video way too often. I don't think that's possible. I think you can only quote that video either sufficient or an insufficient amount. I don't think too much is valid. Oh, that's a new animation. Also, the queue is open. If anyone wants to join, it's !join. It's very versatile. It is. Okay, I like the first song, which it's barely a song. It's an instrumental. Instrumental invitation. So calling it a song is a little misleading. Oh, I've got so many books I need to read. Oh no, this is just a quote. No, we're chilling. I thought you were linking me another book. Okay, hold on a second. Dostoevsky. Okay. I'm not sure if I should read this out loud. I will. I think it'll add to the vibes. Okay. I am a sick man. I am a spiteful man. I am an unattractive man. I believe my liver is diseased. However, I know nothing at all about my disease, nor do I know for certain what ails me. I don't consult a doctor for it, and never have. Though I have a respect for medicine and doctors. Besides, I'm extremely superstitious. But I am... Wait. Anyway, I am well educated enough to not be superstitious, but I'm superstitious. No, I refuse to consult a doctor from spite. That you probably will not understand. Well, I understand it though, of course. I can't explain who it is precisely that I am mortifying in this case by my spite. I am perfectly well aware that I cannot pay out the doctors by not consulting them. I know better than anyone that by all this I'm only injuring myself and no one else, but still, if I don't consult the doctor, it is from spite. My liver is bad, well, let it get worse. Sheesh. I'm doing pretty well. I mean, I just blundered, I mouse-slipped my queen, first game we played tonight on move 4 and move 5, so it can only go up from here. Things can only get better. Sheesh. This is a depressing quote. I mean, it's Dostoevsky, so I mean... Is Queen F2 theory? Not at all. Not remotely. Which is why I'm thinking here. Because I've never seen it. And it's one of those positions where I know it's wrong, but I don't know why exactly, and so I'm being patient. It's not some obscure sideline, I'm pretty sure it's not. It really doesn't look like it is. I've been wrong before, I could be wrong again, but it really, really does not look like a real move. Just like... It looks... I'll tell you what it looks like. It looks like a worse version of the Queen E1 line. Because Queen E1 is a line there, right? And it's one of the more important lines. However, this simply looks like a slightly worse version of that. That fails because it falls to certain motifs that Queen E1 does not find itself susceptible to. Never been playing the Masters, so you're probably right. I have no idea if it's been playing the Masters or not. I can't tell you. I just know that it looks very wrong, and that it's counter-principled. More information than that, I cannot give. Because here's the thing. It's the same kind of motif and same kind of idea as Queen E1, but the problem is now if I push and take, your queen's under attack. That's a tactical motif that I don't normally have. Or if somehow takes and I take with knight, the queen's under attack from the knight. That's a motif I don't normally have. At any point when I take here, if you're fancy, then sometimes I can take the rook before taking the queen. That's a motif I don't have, because normally the queen is guarding the rook. If there's any bishop check on h6, then the rook can find itself in a very suspicious position. That's a motif I don't normally have, right? So it's a position filled with motifs that are uncommon. Okay, so here, taking the rook is usually a terrible idea. Which makes me think I just want to play d4, which is very ambitious. But I'm an ambitious guy. So I'm going to go for it, because my heart tells me it's right. Usually taking the exchange is bad here. Usually you can't take the exchange. Maybe this is different, but it's, you really shouldn't be taking the exchange. most of the time, because my dark red bishop becomes too much of a menace on h6. Time will tell, right? But I would be shocked if yeah, see? This is exactly what I mean. Simply not good. Now, that frees me up to just play rook e8, I think. I've called the bluff, and now I've just got this very pleasant position. This knight doesn't have a good square. It only has a few bad ones. The bishop does not have its normal b5 square. And now I can go to c4, and it'll still be good on that square, but I also just have bishop e6 at any given point. This is just a worse version of the queen e1 line. The more I'm looking at it, the more I'm convinced. Trying to brute force my way through the new Taylor Swift album. Isn't it terrible? I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but like, don't even the Swifties say it's not very good? That's what I've heard. That looks suspicious. Is he trying for something? I don't know what he's trying for. Well. Whoa. Whoa there, Nelly. Oh, this is very creative. I'll give him that. Does Queen A3 lose on the spot? It either loses on the spot or it wins on the spot. So if it doesn't lose on the spot, it wins. Where do you move the knight? I guess you have to go knight e2. That looks horrible, because then I could play like a5. I really find this position difficult to believe. I have a very difficult time believing this position. I've heard the name. Couldn't get through it so bad. I've heard a lot of bad things. Again, from Swifties. So like from people who like Taylor Swift saying it's not very good. I've heard of Colleen Hoover, but I don't know enough about her to have an educated opinion. Like, I don't know enough about the name. I'm trying to see if I can recognize any of the names of these books. I do not recognize any of these. Believe it or not, never read one of her books. I know, shocking. Because, look at me, I'm very much in the demographic. Hitting squats is low-key torture. True. No one has, I think. Oh, okay, one of those kinds of books. Okay, those kinds of books. Well, I mean, I don't really think I need to express how I don't like that. I mean, was rook b1 a move that rook b8? It very well might have been. It very well may have been. I very much not ready to write it off. This just looked immediately more threatening. Literally lowest of the low on TikTok. Ooh, that's impressive. TikTok's got some low lows, so being the lowest of the low on TikTok. Hello, Callum. Yeah, rook b8 was probably a move. What's good? Well, I mouse slipped my queen on move 5 of the first game we played. Now it's the second game we're playing, and I think I'm cooking. This looks amazing for me. Maybe I'm Delulu. Maybe I'm totally wrong and I'm just losing or something, but this looks amazing. Bro's cooking nothing. I'm cooking something. Now, whether or not what I'm cooking is a flambe or just burnt is yet to be seen, right? But something is cooking. Well, that's why review websites are a meme, Ronnie. There's a Twitter account that I used to follow because I thought they were funny. Still think they're funny. And it's games that are worse than Fortnite. And it was every day or every week. I don't remember what it was. I think it was every day. Every day it would post a game that IGN reviewed with a lower rating than Fortnite. And it's very funny. You get some like amazing games that IGN put as worse than Fortnite. You know what I mean? Much rather be black than white. In this position, absolutely. The hatred I have for that woman on the merit of her writing and her impact is indescribable. I probably agree with you. Hey, you're in the queue. Welcome. Man, there is no way this is good for him. Look at this position. Okay, just queen b7. I don't... Every move he makes this position uglier, which is impressive. Is reviewers bias a thing, or does it have a name? Like sample reviewers? I think it'd just be like sample bias. I mean, there's a few different types, I suppose, but it depends on the website. Like, again, different types of reviews, different websites, they have different reasons they're biased and different ways the biases show, right? Same way with people. I somehow beat at 2400 yesterday. What time control? I'm waiting to get into authoring, but I don't know what to do or how to start. Well, I mean, the typical advice is just do something. It doesn't matter what it is. Write a limerick, for all I care, right? Just something. 3 minutes, based. My take is that in the current time, her writings are more harmful and dangerous than Marc de Sade. That might be... You know what? I could very well agree with that. If what you're saying about her books is true, I probably agree. Want to see how I checkmate him? Sure. Just let me kill this guy first. Let me just commit murder, and then we can talk. Let me elaborate. No. Like the take makes sense with my current understanding of what you're saying. If I understand your point, then I think what you're saying makes sense. Well, it selects for popular books. It's a popularity contest, not a quality contest. Which is not... Popularity contests aren't necessarily a terrible thing. It's just... It's kind of a little disingenuous to treat it as if it's a serious metric of a work's quality. You know what I mean? Oh, this is such a pretty move. I don't even know if it's that good, but it's just pretty. Because the bishop's pinned to the... Oh. How do I win? Like, it's winning, but how do I win? This pawn is so annoying. Legit, something like this is worth considering. Just to kind of give myself the possibility of getting this pawn out of the way. Because it's such a problem. Legitimately, if, like, knight takes, for example, I'm strongly considering knight d5. It might be terrible. Never mind then. He gave it to me for free. Do it, Gun. Used to write books when I was younger, and I based a lot of role plays on Minecraft off them. Well, go for it. If something you enjoy doing, something is bigger, is more than nothing, even if the something isn't the best something of all time. Right? You don't even have to show it anybody. If you don't want to. Never heard of Book Thief, no. She often writes about relationships where someone is an abuser, but they got trauma, so it's fine. Ooh. I'm not going to read the rest of it out loud. Because I don't want to. But yeah, no, I'm not a fan. This... You know what I am a fan of, though? This position. Oh. Oh, it just keeps getting better. It just keeps getting better. Ever play Infamous? I have not played Infamous. I've not played any of the Infamous games. I have a giant backlog. I only recently got a gaming PC. Up until that point, I basically just had Nintendo consoles. And so I'm still catching up. Infamous Mid-Sun one. What about Persona 5? I also haven't played Persona 5. Like I said, got quite the backlog. Those two games are must-plays. Persona 5 is on my list of games to play. Actually, low-key, Persona 3, the Persona 3 remake is above Persona 5 on my list of games to play. Because I don't know which one's better. Frankly, I don't care. Persona 3 has such a reputation to it that I want to play it just so I know why it has that reputation. But that's part of the Persona experience, isn't it? Pretty sure you missed Bishop D4. I'm pretty sure I did too. What's your point? I don't really want to trade queens. Don't have the most choice though. I mean, I can and just play the end game up a piece. He's also got 20 seconds, so I can probably just play like that. Just saying. You're probably right. I'm a little less focused currently. A little less focused. As evidenced by the fact that I just casually... No, wait. We're chilling. It's fine. And then I have this. It's okay. We didn't lose any material. Had a tactical way out. Okay, now he's losing material. We're chilling. I had over 300 hours in the game. What are these new win animations? I don't mind. I kind of enjoy it, but like, wow. Hello, Dane. Book talk. Yeah. Nope, I don't know about Infinite Jest either. I am really quite behind on my media consumption. I kind of like the win and loss animations. I'm kind of down. Okay. I told y'all it wasn't a move. I know this line of the dragon. This is not a move you can play. I can describe why it's not a move you can play. I can explain it. I understand why. Which is why I got it right. This isn't even the best move. Okay, what should I have played here? Was it just Queen A5? Queen A5 was better, but still not best. What was best? It wants Rook E8 immediately. Okay, fair enough. Or Bishop E6. Okay, fair enough. D4 is the third best move. It's this, and then D4. At low depth. It's also like Queen A5. I was deciding between like Queen A5 here and just Rook E8 to begin with. Hello, Cold Gold. Started reading In Search of Lost Time. I have a few books that I'm looking to read. Currently, I'm reading a book that's an introductory to quantum physics, and also listening to Zizek's Sublime Objective Ideology. I don't like Zizek at all, but that just makes reading his book more interesting. And then after that, I have Annihilation I had recommended. And I have a few other books by Frederick Bachman I want to get through, because I really did enjoy My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You She's Sorry. And... Hello, Isabella. I am a Zizek hater. I am as well. But I've read so much stuff that I agree with, I figure it was about time that I read something I disagreed with. So, Zizek was that for me. I'll look at it in just a moment. I'm analyzing this game first. Are you familiar with functional analysis? No. I just started. I'm only like in the first chapter. Very introductory. How's stream going today? So far so good. It's only just started because I was very late, but it's fine. Okay, so just to prove my point, taking here is like +1. No, not plus 1. -1, -1.5. Taking the rook is usually very bad. This bishop ends up being like a force of nature. Very, very bad. You really can't get away with it. I'm running on like 4 hours. And honestly, I've run on worse. Oh, kissed? No excuses though? Of course. Taking the rook is bad? Taking the rook is terrible. So, first off, my opponent played this move, which is incorrect in this position. The idea is sound, but this is the wrong way of going about it. If he wants to play this idea, you go queen e1. The reason is because the queen guards this pawn through the bishop, it guards the rook, it guards the knight, and it's less vulnerable on this square. And this diagonal is important. This was the canal variation of the dragon, and I played the main line, which is a pawn sack, and my opponent didn't know his theory. I thought to Marua. I paused it while I was reading, and then I forgot to unpause it. Because I felt like I couldn't listen to it. It's one of those things that's complex enough I couldn't listen to it while reading. The quote that, what's this game? Yeah, so, but he didn't play this line. He played this, which is just incorrect. And now, I didn't punish him correctly. This is fine. This is in the spirit of the position, but it's not the best way of punishing him. See things like queen e1? Okay, so here's the... I don't see queen e1. I know queen e1. I've studied this position. I've studied this position quite a bit. I love these lines. I find them fascinating. I haven't studied them in a while, to be fair, so I'm going off of memory from a few months back, but queen e1 is one of the lines. The main line is taking, I think, but I find those lines boring. I mean, you could play for a small endgame advantage as white there if you'd like, but if you want to fight, queen e1 is the move. That being said, queen f2 is just a worse version of queen e1. And the queen e1 line is already, like, decent. More extensive theory. You don't need to get to a certain rating point. It's when you want to, right? I enjoy learning theory, so I started learning theory from the first time I learned chess, which is not a good idea. Thank you, dog, for the follow. Which is not a good idea, but I did it anyway. So, again, the reason this isn't good is because I'm blocking off this bishop, which is a very strong piece usually. Moment usually goes d5 one move earlier and forces me to take. If they go d5 without knight c6, it's not very good. d5 in this position is a bad move because you play e5. Why would you get sued, Export? I can do that? You can, and it's very bad for black. I myself play a lot of queen e1 in king's Indian attack positions. Queen e1 is such a funny move, because in a lot of positions it does a lot more than it looks like it does. Well, it's different in short games, but it's also a stylistic thing. I know people stronger than me who know less theory than I do, and people weaker than me who know more theory. It's stylistic. No, but this is very bad. Then you play f4. Stonewall positions come to mind as well. Yeah, I'm a Leningrad player, not a Stonewall. So the reason this is good is I'm trying to think. So I knew a guy who used to play these positions, but he would play bishop e2 first. And then he would go for this stuff. The reason this is better... It's been a while since I looked at these lines. Okay, let's say I play knight c6. I want to understand. Talk to me, Stockfish. f6. That's usually the way you play this position. Okay, the problem is I haven't taken the knight yet. I haven't been... It's much less committal. Okay, so that's the reason. The reason this is so good for white is because there are similar positions with playing bishop e2, but you haven't committed the bishop yet in this line. So you're able to play this sort of move. And as black, you really don't want to take that. London is the best opening, change your mind? Well, define best opening. I mean, the YouTube version of the stream's title is "The London is a completely reasonable opening." So, I mean, I've been on a massive downswing. I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to bounce back, but I have just been absolutely dying. Anyway, but the early d5 is not very good. You have to play knight c6 first. Otherwise, you're walking into e5, and that causes problems. White could also probably take and castle long, but it's neither here nor there. It's perfectly playable. Anyway, castles long, d5, queen f2, e5, then push is d4. d4 is bad because it blocks the bishop. I should have played either queen a5 or rook e8. Play a move that's productive without having to block the bishop first. It's not just a bad move. And then this is a very cowardly move. So my first sin was blocking my own bishop, and then my second sin was cowardice. This is cowardice. Queen a5 or rook b8 are both infinitely better moves. Let him have the rook. Rook e1 bad? Well, it's rook, you mean rook e8? It's cowardly. He can't take this rook. He can't afford to take the rook. Yeah. g4, is it prepped by rook g1 or h3 or is g4 pawn sack? When? It's cowardly. He is begging to die. I can play this right now, and what is he going to do about it? Take bishop, now what? Oh, knight over, sorry. Now what? Where's the knight go? It has to go to e2 so he doesn't lose a piece. And now rook b8. How does he stop me from just obliterating him? You go here, I'm bringing in the knight. It's cowardly. In a standard rapid over-the-board game, would you play queen a5 against a 2300? In this position, I'm sure I would. I'm sure I would. This is not a difficult move to find because it's very much in the spirit of the position. If you played the Sicilian Dragon, and if you know these lines as black, you know queen a5 is 80% of the time the correct move. I was just a chicken. Cowardly like a lion? Like the lion from The Wizard of Oz. And this is -3. So thankfully he didn't punish me too hard for it. He didn't play solid, because he could play solid and then we'd be chilling. Or he'd be chilling, because, you know, and it's harder to break through. And now he's just dead. Because his king is exploded. My king is perfectly safe. He has no attack, and meanwhile his king is wide open. I must be winning. Chess demands it. The loss of chess. Kaisa herself, the goddess of chess, demands that black be winning here. Okay, queen a bishop a6 instead makes sense. Can you repeat the last 8 moves? Yes. Yep. And then he had to try taking this, I think. See? They know good content when they see it. What can I say? Rook takes a4. Oh, I'm so sad this is not a good move. It's so pretty. And then rook takes b3 is atrocious. You want to ride rook takes b3 is atrocious? The same reason d4 was atrocious. This bishop does not need any more life. Thank you, Lazy Daisy, for the follow. That's a good name. Strong name. Bird. You know what? Fact. Anyway. I really like the Marua EP. I'm enjoying it more the more I listen to it. Anyway. Taking with knight keeps the bishop blocked. Taking with rook lets me open the bishop. And now it's just completely over. Thanks for the follow. Kissed as well. Oh, we got so many follows. Now, I probably could have executed him more efficiently. Yeah, queen d7 first, for example. Been playing chess for a month? And you beat a 2400? Oh, that's a huge dub. And then I really just made my life harder than it had to be. And I was fancy enough that I managed to get out of my life. Although if he went here, it's not clear if I'm actually winning anymore. I mean, he didn't have any time either, but that's when I got kind of distracted by chat. We were discussing. XLM leave doesn't work, I'll just skip you if you're not here. Or if you don't want to play. Interesting stuff. Who's first? Egg is first. Is Egg still here? He often joins and it just isn't here, which I mean, based. Yeah, I gotta go, just skip, please. No worries. Appreciate you stopping by. Hello. Wait, give me a second. You tardigrade? Wait. How do you pronounce that? Oh. You tardigrade. Oh, I know these things. But I didn't know, I just thought they were called tardigrades. I didn't know the U was there too. They're the water bears. You know, little guys who survive everything. Who are basically invincible. You could survive like radiation poisoning and space. How'd you get that name? Yeah. No, I'm kind of vibing with this. I'm pronouncing it wrong. Don't get me wrong. Same as cockroaches? No. They're smaller and they're more resilient. Don't forget to take out the trash. What do you think I did? No, I'm kidding. Someone made this account for me? Okay, fair play. I just feel like that would be a in-demand username. Or maybe I'm wrong. I guess it's a little obscure. Okay, that would make dog be second. Okay, dog, send me that game again if you don't mind. Yeah, evidently the EU before them is like a thing. I didn't know about that either, Kist. How to queue? You type exclamation mark join, and then if it doesn't have a stroke and die, my bot will do the rest. Okay, I'm not going to do a deep analysis of this because I assume you actually want to play. And it's not quite fair if I do an analysis of a game and play you for your turn, you know? But I'll see the checkmate. Ooh, that's pretty. I like that. Crows and ravens are cool. So come in, easily the best bird. I can shake. Low key, I really need to train like a wild one. What was the opponent doing? Have no clue. Letting white get a really pretty checkmate, I suppose. But I think it was Lasker who said that the brilliance of one player requires the inaccuracy of another. I mean, he didn't say that exactly, I'm paraphrasing, but... So, assuming I'm playing against you, I'm challenging you, Trash? What's your username? Alchemy and Bluff, it's the same as on Twitch, but I'll just send you an unrated 10-0. That's what I do in my heartbeat if they live in my area. I feel like there are some in my area. I haven't checked. Still W? Oh, absolutely. We take those. So battered games usually don't go over 30 moves. It's stylistic. Can I be white? Sure, I'll challenge it so that you're white. Bro wants to play the London. I don't reach endgames? I mean, it depends on what the reason you don't reach endgames is. How did I play against this again? Oh, yes. Okay, let me remember my prep. Okay. like this. This now I want to see. Well, you know, I'm not going to claim to be an expert on the London. Is the London against the Dutch bad? Yeah. It's just a bit passive. You really want to be playing c4 in the Dutch. So it's generally not recommended to be playing more slowly like you would see in a London against the Dutch. Give me a second. I need to do a little bit of calculating. I think it works. I mean, let's find out. It's been a while since I played against London. Usually playing the Dutch avoids them. But I felt like, hey, Quisky, thanks so much for the follow. Welcome. We're playing chess, as you can see. Shocker, I know. I really want to play this. I don't think it's a good move yet. I do have live subtitles. Jeff. Appreciate the raid. How is stream? Hey, thanks so much for follow, Albie. Okay, hold on a second. I actually need to play a move. What do I play in this position? There's a few moves that seem reasonable. Like low-key, something like Knight H5 might be... That's not a move currently because of that doi. I swear I'm good at chess. Yeah, Jeffrey's a mod. Jeffrey's a mod everywhere. It's like one of the rules of Twitch. Unless evidence to the contrary is provided, assume Jeffrey is a mod. I mean, I could take and then play like a reverse Carlsbad. I kind of want to do that. You know what? I'm in the mood for it. Let's play a reverse Carlsbad. Well, I don't know who AHH the Thinker is. Off the top of my head. 218 versus 2044. Yeah, we only do like fair matchups here because I feel like anything else is not as fun to watch. Why is e5 not good? I'm pretty sure e5 he can take my knight, and then once I take, he plays bishop takes here. That's what I thought. Carlsbad is Carlsen's little brother who does not play chess. Exactly. I respect it. Also, thank you, Zigui Gui. I'm assuming it's pronounced Zigui Gui. Hello, Vleppy. How you been? Right, thanks. No problem. You too, Rexport. Sleep well. I think this, because this bishop really wants to be outside of the pawn chain, and so my semester's almost over. Got like a week or so. I've got like 4 weeks, 5 weeks in my semester still. Is it safe to say moves now? If you'd like, yeah. I'm playing an unrated game against a viewer, so you're totally okay. Appreciate you asking. Well, even being on actual hardware won't avoid input latency. Last I checked, the Switch API has a minimum 4 frames of input delay. Well, that's true as well. You know, recently I had that problem because I'm acting as a coach for the kids in my chess club. And so it was kind of draining because when I ended up switching to acting more as a coach, I wasn't playing in chess club as a member as much. And it ended up being kind of exhausting because I didn't get to just play in chess club, right? Which, I mean, it had benefits, you know, it's not like a hugely negative thing or whatever, but what I ended up doing is I ended up switching it so that the first hour was for younger kids and the second hour is for older kids, and I don't coach the older kids. I just play chess with them, so I still have the relaxation. F3 I don't like. I don't like anything he's doing. But, I mean, what you gonna do, right? That's better than a Ryujinx, though? Well, I mean, low bar, but yeah. Like that VIP is 500k. Okay, I wasn't sure what to put it at, because I only have limited VIP slots. Thanks so much. Shaco's twin? Like the League of Legends? Yeah. That's true. I want 100k? Well, you're already a mod. I feel like mod is a level above VIP. How many slots do you have for VIP? A bunch. I have like 20 something. It really doesn't need to be that high, but at this point I feel like if I lowered it, it would be betraying the people who didn't get it. I've got a decent number. That's really not the limiting factor. I mean, I'm not sure why I need to castle right now. Enjoy your food, yay. Rook C1? Rook C1's or Rook C8's coming, but I'm keeping it ambiguous. Rook to C8 is absolutely coming. Are you from Macedonia? Well, define from. I've lived here almost 9 years now, but I wasn't born here. But also my dad is from here, so like... Again, Rook C8's a very reasonable move. And one I am very likely to play. Here means Macedonia? Yes. I probably should have said that. I'm from Macedonia, that's why I asked. Hey. Got it. Got it. По-специфично kada. Chicken. Rucksack incoming? Probably not. Значи, мой акцент не е толкова добро. Заради македонски втори язик ми е. Учам, но како што знаеш, тешко е за странците. Hey, thanks Fluffy for the resub. Most loyal sub I have. И знам, много е тежко. Да. Do you just curse at us in an ancient language? My lawyer advised me. Carrying butt, thank you so much for the follow. I really shouldn't have emphasized it that way. Say yes to what, Void? May I inquire, good sir, as to thy favorite sustenance, that which brings solace to thy spirit and joy to thy taste buds? I am most intrigued to learn of the culinary delights that hold a special place in thy heart. I really like a good creme brulee. I also like, there's like a Serbian snack food. Am I your first Macedonian? Am I your first? No, I've had a few other Macedonian people in here. Funny story. And I've also had people I know in real life find my streams, which that's a little terrifying. Okay, give me a second. I can take this, right? I'm cooking. Well, I mean, use the bishop instead? No, I'm absolutely using the rook. I want the bishop here and the queen here. I want his soul. Using the bishop is great still, but using the rook sets up the bishop in the perfect spot. Beautiful spot. He can't take. What does he do? Bishop a4, queen b5. Oh, bishop a3. Bishop a3, queen b5. I'm not sure I understand why. Okay, give me a second. Rook takes a3. Rook takes a3 is what my heart tells me. This looks right. Queen to a3? Queen to a3 I don't think works. Quite delightful. My preference leans towards fettuccine. I love me a good fettuccine. I love me a good fettuccine. I'll shake. Huh. GG's. Double brilliant game review? I have no idea. I hope so, because I thought that was pretty. C3 was the only try. I don't think that helped, though. I got cooked. Yes. Okay, so evidently taking was inaccurate. Was it bad for me after queen takes and a6 and... Yeah, okay, you could have castled long and gotten immediate pressure that I shouldn't have let you have. It was still livable for me, but not great. Okay, 3 looks sus. Okay, let's find out. Let's find out. Bishop d3, bishop g4. Okay, bishop g4 is correct. Again, get the bishop outside the pawn chain. Inaccurate? No, no, no. Just taking there's wrong. Just trust me. Trust me. We'll see. We'll see. But we'll look. Let's take some. Let's calculate this. Bishop a4, bishop g6, queen a5. Okay, so rook c8 was better. Y'all were right. Hey, Husker, welcome. But I played queen a5, and then he went bishop takes g6, h takes g6, h5. I went g takes. And then I went rook c8. Okay. The endgame is more important for winning. I have a very high opinion of the endgame, but that's, you know, the Eastern European chess player in me. So I really do think the endgame is super important because it helps the rest of the game as well. That's the thing people forget, is just because you don't get to an endgame doesn't mean your endgame knowledge didn't help. Also, nickname. Thanks so much for the follow. Or is it Nick name? Не. За жо? Само македонски разбирам. Уште македонски тешко ми е. Нема ми српски. Не хорватски. Не, и хорватски. Хорватски? Нямам ни српски, хорватски, словенски, било кој. Озбилно? Cool. Thank you, Happy Me 25 for the follow. Where can I practice about the endgame? There are books. Yes, I prefer Silman's Complete Endgame course. But I've also heard a bunch of good things about 100 endgames you must know. I haven't read it myself. Subtitles struggling? Yeah, they're designed for English. Well, I mean, it's similar enough, dog, to Macedonian because the South Slavic languages share so much that, like, occasionally, if I'm given a lot of context, some of the words are close enough. Dvoretsky? It has that problem with that too. Silman, good for a first book. 100 endgames you must know is much more advanced. Well, there you go. A3? Oh. Oh, no brilliant on rook takes a3? Come on. Come on. What do you want from me? Ridiculous. Impossible to please. You got lucky? Absolutely, yes. Impossible to please. What do you want from me? Like, come on. C3 is the only try? I don't think C3 helps. I'm trying to think what I would play here. I'm gonna play again, you're cooked? For sure. I would have played G6 instead of Rook A3. G6 is a coward's move. It's not bad, though. Also, Gon is absolutely correct. Thinker Teacher has got a bunch of amazing information for endgames, and he's done a bunch of streams and videos for endgame studies specifically. I rate him constantly. Great guy. Probably doesn't help, but the only way not lose immediately. Oh yeah, for sure. You have to try something, right? I'm just like, what do you even take at this point? Give me a second. Like rook takes, bishop takes, rook check. I'm sure all of it's winning somehow. It's just which one's the most winningest. Something like this. Looks pretty bad. I would probably rather play the black pieces in this position. Slight preference for black. The funny part is that even if we do something like this, right? Then even if I'm dumb and let you take, the funniest part is I can take your rook and you can't queen because my knight guards the g8 square. Gandalf the Black. Did Gandalf, was ever Gandalf? It was Gandalf the Gray and then Gandalf the White. Where did Gandalf the Black come from? To be fair, I haven't read the Silmarillion or anything, so I'm not exactly an expert on Tolkien lore. Or is that a reference to like ERB or something? Anyway. Gandalf the racist. Oh no, racist Gandalf. That definitely, yeah. Yes, of course. Naturally. Tolkien is rolling over in his grave. Okay, Zazer. Exclam join. Speaking of which, Luca is not here. Isabella is also not here. Void is here. I'm also the kind of person who likes the kind of brilliant move, which is a quiet move when a bunch of my pieces are on pre. Yes. You are correct, Cole. That is beautiful. I love that. What time control? I usually play 10-0. But you have to join the queue first because there are people in line, and we have to pretend to be a sane, rational, structured society, right? My mom's in stream sometimes, okay? We gotta be careful. Speaking of which, I need to brush my hair. While this is analyzing, I'll brush my hair. How many people are in line? That's a good question. I don't know. Over 5? No, 4. Okay. Goated bot? Yeah, it's kind of limited in functionality because I'm a bit lazy. However, what it does. I need to really just search Gandalf the Black on Google and Morgan Freeman comes up. You know what? That is correct. That is the correct answer. Google knows. Emo Alka? No. Exclaim first. Yeah, that's definitely how that works, Exa. I mean, I don't blame you for trying. It would be very funny if I had that as an option. Okay. So, Void has the white pieces here. And my arrow keys don't work currently. I don't know why they don't work. Okay, now they work. Emo rapport. Now we're talking. Okay, e4, c5, knight f3, knight c6. Okay. d4. Okay, what is this? Sveshnikov. Or Kalishnikov. I get the Sveshnikov and Kalishnikov mixed up. They share a lot of DNA. They transpose a ton, so I get it mixed up. Because I don't play it super often. I have it as like a backup weapon for if I feel like somebody's super prepped for my dragon. But... Want to play for money? Not remotely. Appreciate the offer, though. Knight a3, b5, knight d5, knight f6, bishop d3. Bishop d3 is a passive. I don't like bishop d3 at all. Bishop d3 is anti-positional. So, yeah, we'll transpose into a Sveshnikov in that case. Either way, show of hands. I don't like bishop d3. Is theory from Sark? I don't know. I don't like it. Maybe it's theory. Maybe it's theory. I really don't like it at all. No. You can either play with me and then I analyze your game, our game afterwards, or you can send me a game to analyze instead if you don't feel like playing. Bishop d3 is my line for comfort. I hate it. I hate everything about it. The more I look at it, the less I like it. I fundamentally disagree with it on a philosophical, spiritual level. Why not f5? Pardon me, why not what? What's your FIDE rating? Currently, classical it's like 1700 and rapid it's like 1800. I'm a little underrated though, since I don't get to play in many tournaments nowadays. I really don't care for this. It's just... Bishop g5 is just such a natural move in this position. How long did it take you to reach 2K? I think it's for the bits. Zeno is him? I remember the name Zeno and saying it, but I don't remember too much about it. I am a Sigma Alpha boy. How can you be a Sigma boy? Is that like the level before being a Sigma male? Advice, don't play drunk. I play sleep deprived, which is only a half a step better. What's the thing for the bits? How long did it take to reach 2000? It took me a long time. It took me like 4 years or something, but I really stopped and smelled the roses. I have my entire chess journey. Bishop d3 avoids a lot of tricky pawn sacks while not getting go of d5 square, apparently. I still don't like it. And this is one of the reasons I don't like it. This isn't even a good move, but I don't like it. Yeah, but not over the board. Ah, well, I've done that too. Sleep deprived over the board. C4 still main move, though? I don't know about C4. I don't know too much about these positions. I play them for funsies, but I've always liked bishop g5 here. I think it's just such a natural move and contributes so elegantly to the position. And then you just take. It's such a positionally rational way of playing chess. Do I have to read that? It is a word. That's not exactly a single word. It's a interesting turn of events we got here. Is someone drunk? It's Twitch. You don't need to be drunk. Bishop g5 makes sense because the fight is for the d5 square. This bishop can't fight for the d5 square. This knight can. So trading this bishop for this knight makes sense. It's just, and then you just nom, and then you move on with life. Of course not moi. It could never be me. I strongly prefer this. And then you can play like c3, and this knight rotates. It's such a natural way of playing chess. I love this position for white. You forgot to read it? Did I? Did I now? Very nice knight. Yeah, just good control over the square. Now, your opponent does have the bishop pair, and that could be relevant long term if you're not careful. So it does require some finesse. However, you just hate unknown fun? No, that's not true. That's not true. I'm not saying you have to play bishop g4. I just hate bishop d3 specifically because I feel like it's slow and doesn't contribute to the ideas of the position. That's why I hate it, not because it's unknown. If you had played c3, I don't know if that's theory, I would have said that's fine. If you had played, I don't know, I'm trying to think of other moves you could play here. There aren't that many, honestly. There aren't that many. It's just not a position with too many options. I mean, queen f3 you can't do yet. Maybe, like, again, c3 play queen f3 immediately, I wouldn't yell as much. I am such a Sigma boo-boo bear. I like to be the alpha in the Sigma Alpha Wolf group. Do you hate playing e4? I don't hate it, I just would rather not. I just don't like playing e4 because of the French. If I could avoid the French, then I wouldn't mind playing e4 at all. See, look at this. If black just plays f5, suddenly... in a more alpha way... Oh, I'm sorry. Everything I say is by default said in the most alpha way possible, because I am simply him. I am simply that guy. That's what I mean. From the opening, your black's already comfortable. I don't like this. Hold on a second. This does not look fun. What is he cooking? Can I play f5? Now that one I'm definitely not reading. Y'all aren't paying nearly enough channel points for me to read this stuff. It's not easy to find though. No, but you shouldn't give it to him to begin with. The French are so bougie. Is that how you spell bougie? I mean, I know the full word is bourgeoisie, so it's like difficult to shorten it because the spelling is French. I'm not getting paid nearly enough to say this stuff. Goodness gracious. Okay. Yeah, I know, because I'm bougie. Ah, fair. You forgot to say my thing? Did I now? Well, notice something, Mr. Kissed. It's the redemption says word, not words, not sentence, not phrase, not expression, not paragraph, but word. So I could just choose a word from that. Want. Unsay. What can I say? I am simply that guy. It has nothing to do with the fact that I'm a chess.com partner, and so occasionally I get put on Chess TV, and so I get embed views from chess.com homepage. Nothing to do, completely unrelated. Totally and completely unrelated. I am not reading that one either. I've been on the internet way too long to read that one. Dog, come on. That's how it's gonna be then, eh? I would rather it not be that way, but I don't know of another option. Ooh, bishop c4 is nice. That's a pretty move. That's a pretty... Bishop c4 is pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. What's in it for me, EXO? Bishop c4, I thought about, I missed that. I can take, yeah, fair. Can you look up pronunciation of a word then read it? I can attempt to read it. Create a new account and I'm competing with Twitch broadcasters. Would you like to pay a match with me? Exclam join to join the queue. I can't just skip people. I would feel bad. I'll feel guilty. You forgot to read it. Ohio Skibbity Toilet Riz. Are you happy now? I think there was a typo. I mean, I can try, Cole. I am going to do a very, very poor job, but given that's usually part of the fun. Yeah, knight takes d5 is fundamentally a bad move. He got greedy. JohnGeoChess.com. Again, I'd love to play, but only once your turn. I can't skip the other people in queue. As much as sometimes I want to. Okay. Ah, yes, because I definitely understand Swedish. I mean, I was protecting d5. No. Bishop e4 isn't a problem. I don't mind bishop e4. Again, the move I hate most is bishop d3. Try to say it. Jagar sa otrolig. Out of stock. I only did 2 per stream because I know what I'm dealing with, okay? I don't think it was that good. I definitely believe it was not that good. Yeah, that's no, it's the chess.com embed views. You're not dumb. So sometimes, because I'm a chess.com partner streamer, I get put on the chess.com homepage, and so I'm given the viewers that are just passively on the chess.com homepage. It's pretty sick. It's been a while since it's happened. I don't think I'm going to read that, EXO. Y'all just want me dead. Okay, give me a second. Okay, give me a second. Realisation Svinst Beskatning. That's just a lot of syllables in a row. Yeah. Realisation Vinst Beskatning. Good night to everyone except those who have an A in their name. That's like half the stream. Why you gotta be like that? Why are you racist against the letter A? See, Gone doesn't have a good night. You don't have a good night. Who else doesn't have a good night? Dog doesn't have a good night. The number of people who don't have a good night. Utardigard Grod does not have a good night. So many people here don't have a good night. It's so sad. Like half the people in stream. It's so sad. So yeah, bishop d3 I hate, but the rest of the game is kind of nice. I don't mind it. Bro was cooking. Speaking of cold gold, I was just reading your name, but your name does not have an A, so you're good. But I want to have a good night. Exactly. And I am okay with you having a good night. The problem is EXO isn't. That's what happens, you know, some people, right? Bishop d3 theory though? Needs what? I don't care. What do you mean it's theory? Whose theory is it? It's not played at master level, I don't think. Where'd the game go? Away? It's over here. I mean. You said to skip the second half of the game because you weren't paying attention. Night kissed. Jim Ivan Saric recommends it. Well, does he explain the idea? I mean, I assume he does. I said ignore the bad moves. And okay. Oh, you should have said that. You should have led with that. Equanimity. I do need equanimity, bless my heart. Okay. Yeah, it avoids a lot of sharp pawn sacks. No, I mean the idea of the opening, like what you're playing for, not what you're avoiding. If you're playing chess just to not have to deal with something, and you don't have a plan, then it's not a good idea. You're playing reactive chess, and I don't like that. Aha, Beast, thanks so much for the follow. Right, so that's why I'm asking, like, what's the idea? Why is that move better than Bishop G4? Like, what does it play for? Comfortable and boring chess? No, but like, what's the plan? What's White's ambition? What are you aiming for? What's the goal of the position? What do you do? What does it do? What is the point? Develops a bishop to a not that productive square. It's it's not amazing a square. It's developed, yes, but like it's not that fantastic of a square for the bishop. Maybe you'll bring it there eventually. I'm not saying you never will. I'm just saying, like... And it develops a bishop which doesn't contribute to the central fight. Which, if you're... Like, I understand. If you don't want to contribute to the central fight, fine. But then contribute to something else. And I don't understand what bishop d3 contributes to. That's my point. It's funny how winning this is for you, despite the fact that you're just up a pawn. Oh no, you're not up a pawn, you're up a knight for 2 pawns. Oh wow, that's weird. Yeah, well now it's a knight for a pawn. I think you play against knight g7 and knight f6 to cut down theory. No, yeah, I'm not asking what your fight... Like, it avoids those moves, yes, but it allows other stuff. Why should I allow the other stuff? That's my point. It's a bit scary. Give me a second. Okay. Was h5 not a move? Or h4, sorry? I don't care for f3. It's fine, but it makes me a little bit uncomfortable. I'd be more comfortable with h4 in this position. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but maybe f3 is fine. I just strongly prefer h4. Letting the pawns run on the board and getting the file the way it is, it seems slightly more razor's edge than it has to be. I would rather play boring chess and win when I'm up a piece than play like something sharper. This isn't as sharp. If he pushes, he's never going to threaten this pawn again. If he takes and tries something funky, you can always play rook f1 now. If you need to. You really won't, but this bishop can kind of stay here. The rook can come to... not there. The rook can come to c4, guarding the bishop. I far prefer h4. Just as a motif, I prefer in these sorts of positions going for this h4 push rather than going for f3. I feel like this creates so many weaknesses you have to think about. Like, even ignore... like, not him playing g4 and now him playing h4. And then maybe g4. I mean, it's not good right now, but my point is, it's like... I really... 2150. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I just really think it's more complicated than it has to be. And that's not what you should be shooting for in these sorts of positions. G4 blunders the pawn. Yeah, I'm not... again, it's a bad move. I'm just saying that you suddenly have to think. Why does Automod keep flagging the stinking cheese emoji? I love that emoji. Because, see, this is fine for you, but this is just super annoying. In a position where it hangs mate in 2. Oh, well, I mean, yeah. Technically, you're right. It does technically hang a pawn. So, you meme, but you know. And again, now you're bad. Now you're chilling. I like queen d1. This move I like a lot. It's an elegant solution. Yeah, I like this move a lot. It holds everything together and it threatens to go to h5, and he let you go to h5, and... Ooh. That's nice. That's a nice one. I like that a lot. That's a very pretty motif. Bishop d7. Wait, why bishop d7? This bishop's fantastic. Why am I moving the bishop? This is an amazing piece. I love it with all of my heart. Why? I'm thoroughly confused. Why did we play bishop d7? Bishop d7 was a mindless move. I was trying to go bishop c5. Then go bishop c5. Why do you have to play bishop c7 first? What does that contribute? I really don't care for bishop d7. Okay, even you want. Nice. We'll take. Again, you just simply played better chess in the middle game, right? I didn't care for the way you played the opening, but you played the position better than he did. He blundered a few times and you were chilling. Hey, I forgot you stream on Mondays. Well, I forgot too, because I was like an hour and 20 minutes late. Running while playing chess is so based. That is a true, factual statement coming from our boy Gone. Also, whose turn was it? Did I next? Voidy. I'm trying to figure out if I click next. I don't think I did. Oh no, I did. It's Cold Gold. Is Cold Gold still here? I think he left. Yeah, Cold Gold left. It's so hot in my area right now. I'm eating ice cubes at the bus stop. Man, I was boiling alive in accounting class earlier today because the air conditioning is not something people here like very much. And shorts aren't socially acceptable. Sorry, I'm here. There's no reason to apologize. I didn't have to wait at all. Okay, what's your chess.com name? If you don't mind my asking? If you don't mind my asking. The nice thing about captions is that they're accurate enough that they work, but as soon as I start mumbling or talking too fast, they mess up. And so whenever the captions get real goofy, it's a good reminder for me to slow down and enunciate. Perfect. I'll send you an unrated 10-0. Is that acceptable? Ooh, Wilhelm Steinitz. I can't do names either. Real Bob the Builder? Wait, is it actually Bob the Builder? I did not know Bob played chess. You know what? Based. Did you hear about the thing Kramnik did? He's been banned from Title Tuesday for a while, but he was caught earlier this month using another GM's account of a similar rating to play in it. That's so funny. That's actually hilarious. Man. I feel bad for Kramnik at this point. He's such a legendary player. Kramnik is literally throwing his reputation. Absolutely. Which is insane, because he's got such an amazing reputation. Or he had such an amazing reputation. he was low-key slept on by a lot of people. Ton of people underestimated how strong Kramnik was, or is. Why was he banned? I actually don't know. Is it just because of the accusing everyone of cheating? Have you looked into the pseudo-Catalan? Isn't the pseudo-Catalan without knight f3? I feel like I've heard it before, but I don't know it's rolled off the top of my head. Oh! Man. 4 hours of sleep catching up with me. Okay. Oh no, it's without c4. I have not looked into it super deep, no. I should. Try to avoid the queen's gambit acceptance, some Slav lines. I don't mind the queen's gambit accepted too much. But can't black play c5 usually in a lot of these positions? And then it ends up being a kind of a boring position for white. No, because then you play c4, right? And you can go for that weird pawn tag sort of thing. There's something about this that I didn't like. I swear I've looked at this before. I think it might have been move 3 c5. I don't know. The move 3 c5 lines. It's b5 that black can play that gives problems. What about move 3 c5? What do you do against that? I'm in the final struggle of senior school year. All my final exams are coming up this week and next week. Ooh. I've got a few weeks till my finals, but man, brutal. How do we go about doing this? Do I go bishop f4 or bishop g5? That's the question. That rook is misplaced, but I'm not sure how to abuse it. I'm gonna go bishop g5. Catalan. Real. True. Oh no, I don't play the Catalan. More like the Catalan. More like the Meowtalan. I don't trust it. Again, what do you do against move 3 c5? Meowtalan, really? Yes. Next question. We are going to... What are we going to do? What's the plan? Bishop g2? Bishop g2 is reasonable. I think I'm actually going to take the knight. And then go bishop h3. This is a bit of a creative approach. Might not be good, but... Alka wins the next view arena? I don't know. Who wants to get banned? From chess.com, not my chat, for the record. We need a sacrificial lamb. c5, bishop g2, and reverse Grunfeld. Tarash. 2 unrated? I should. E2. Yeah, but there's no knight c6 yet. It's not a reverse Grunfeld. If you play bishop g2 then takes, you can't play knight takes because there's no knight on c6. So when I play e5, I don't take on c... It's not a reverse Grunfeld. I've looked into these lines, but with white playing this way, and the reason this isn't good is because there's no knight on c6 already. Yeah, you castle? Mm. Black still doesn't have to play knight c6. He can wait. Like h6. Just play a decent waiting move. You still can't take on d4. This makes me very uncomfortable. Can't you do on raid tournaments? I absolutely can. I just haven't. And like, this is such a... it does not feel right giving black this much in the opening. What I do not... h6, b3? Okay, but now knight c6, because you don't play b3 in the Grunfeld. b3 isn't a Grunfeld move. So now I play knight c6, because now take c5 takes on c6 isn't as good, I don't think. Because the bishop doesn't want to go to b2, so b3 is kind of a wasted move. Well, usually what I've found is, by and large, a lot of people don't really want to watch that. Now, that being said, there is stuff I could do to make it engaging. Like, I could have some chess.com, like a 1 month chess.com subscriptions as a prize. Womp womp. Do you really have to castle? Not yet. EX, CX, C4 still liked by the fish. This feels wrong. I haven't checked Stockfish, but you don't play B3 in the... I guess it's... But this is just literally Grunfeld colors reversed, but white's played B3, and so black has B3 included pretty much. But I'm not sure how good of a thing that is. I don't know how much of a benefit that is. King D2, I'm considering it. Which country do you choose? If I had to make a country disappear right now, poof, magic. Wait, what happens to the people? What happens to the people who live in that country? This is very important. Well, what kind of, what tier of genocide am I dealing with? If people disappear, poof, magic? Is that murder? That feels suspiciously close to murder. They don't experience any pain? Still seems pretty close to murder. It's just painless murder. Which I'm pretty sure is still murder. Can I blunder a piece? I think I might have. Okay, boys. We're gonna have to play bad chess. You ready? What's my favorite dumb rule? If you're going to lose a piece, at least make it feel like a sacrifice. So, here's the plan. Here's the plan. It's a victimless crime? Doesn't feel like a victimless crime. Are you copying me? What? Ah, he's being clever. My guy is being clever. I mean, we can get another pawn for this at least. Right? You were playing bad chess, so you were copying me? Yes, definitely, for sure. Next question. Song is nice? Thank you. What song is playing? Oh yeah, no, Roby's bass. I like him a lot as a creator. He's just a really pleasant fella. He does. He's releasing new music pretty regularly. I just can't keep up because, especially now that I'm actually budgeting, because I have a job and I have regular income, I have limited funds I can spend on music and games and stuff every month. So, like moving a rock, preventing 30 people from being born due to the butterfly effect, very criminal crime. Preventing people from being born is different than making them suddenly not exist anymore. At least it is in a, well, you have a job? I might. Who's asking? Oh, that's a funny move. I missed that completely. Okay. Thought you just teach chess as a job? No, I don't get paid for that. That's a hobby. That's me giving back to my community. Well, I mean, it happens fairly often. I'm not sure why you're surprised. I mean, I'm not going to say it happens all the time, but it is a semi-regular occurrence. This is very bad. Bishop b3. I've just got there. I'm gonna try, of course. I don't believe in not fighting. But this is bad. I mean, I'm working on building up my local chess club. Ideally, I mean, I would love to make teaching chess into a career. It just currently isn't for a few reasons. That's a super annoying move. Is it hard to teach chess in Macedonia? I'm not sure I would say that. It's just like doing anything else, you know? In order to get people to pay you, you have to be doing a very good job. No, it's not. Especially the city where I live in, it's not very available. Man. I'm like, the club I run is like the only one specializing in teaching youngsters. It's crazy. Rook d3? Rook d3 might happen at some point. What's up, Gloin? Just gotta really think things through in this position. At least you have a chess club in your city? This is true. Chess has been giving me tons of stress and self-loathing lately. Why is that? If you don't mind my asking, of course. Glowing spotted? I mean, yeah. Regular experience, just stop caring about ELO and you'll be alright. You say that like it's easy. It's not. My opponent's playing a very good game of chess. I respect it. It's not that hard as well? That depends very much on individual temperament. My opponents play 90% accuracy at 800 elo. It makes me feel terrible. Okay, so fun chess fact. When they done all the studies, about how, with what accuracy people play at different rating ranges, the conclusion is pretty clear, and that is that accuracy has relatively little to do with how well you played, and has more to do with the skill difference, right? And so accuracy says more about the matchup of the two people than it does about the fact that one person is playing perfect. This is something that Kasparov messed around with. Kasparov, this is what got not Kasparov. This is what got Kramnik all messed up. Is he said, "Oh, these lower rated players are getting insanely high accuracy games against me. They must be cheating." When that's very much not the case, or very much not necessarily the case. They could be cheating, I don't know, but they're not definitely cheating because their accuracy was higher than yours. That's what I mean, Dane. I would wager that most positions when you're up to 30 points of material are harder to play. Does that mean games end in a small amount of moves? Not necessarily. It just means that if you're winning, the game gets easier to play, which is something I've been saying for years. Winning games are easier to play, just at a very base level. No, I do have a legal move. Piece of junk. Okay. So I blundered the piece earlier. I think before that I was doing pretty well. GG's. So my point, Gloin, is your opponent's playing 90% accuracy at 800 elo says very little about your chess and their chess. It just means that they won the game, and the game got easy to play. Foger, thank you so much for the follow. There's this chess server I'm in, and whenever they face an opponent who has an accuracy of 95% or higher, they accuse them of cheating. I completely disagree with that, especially if it's based off only one game. Exactly. Did I miss my turn? No. Speaking of which, I actually need to close the queue. It's getting late. So, for anyone new here, closing the queue means that people already in the queue still get their turn. It just means no one new can join. So anyone already in the queue, fear not. That includes you, Hubskirt, so don't worry. You're good. I'm back? Oh, welcome back. I'll play you next, bro. I'll play you next, Isabella. Guys, it's opposite day? Well, by saying it's opposite day, if it's opposite day, it means it's not opposite day. So you have to say it's not opposite day. But if you say it's not opposite day, then that could both be opposite and not opposite. Hello, Chain. It's statistics. It is inevitably going to happen at some point. That's the problem. Is the way you determine if someone's cheating is by having large sample sizes. And individuals, and you playing one chess game against somebody is not a large sample size. Now, like, if they have a ridiculously high accuracy in a long game, a long complicated game, are rated lower, and have an account that was created 30 hours ago, then it's a little bit suspicious. Isn't there some correlation between rating and accuracy? How often should a negative 500 rating manage 70% plus efficiency? See, that's the surprising part. There is, but it's a surprisingly small correlation. The correlation is difference in playing strength, or the difference in the strength of how well you played the game. So, a 1000 and a 1400 will look very similar from an accuracy perspective to a 2000 versus a 2400, which is the weird counterintuitive thing. It's not the same, and obviously there is a correlation, but it's not nearly as strong as you would think. There is a correlation, but the correlation is much stronger in favor of the difference in ELO. 1400s can get very high accuracy games against 1000s. Best to just assume nobody is cheating? Yeah. Innocent until proven guilty, right? There's a reason that's the legal system in a number of places. I completely missed G5 as an option. Thanks. I'm trying my hand at the game again after a while. After a break? I'm guessing words. No problem whatsoever. You also have to look at other factors besides accuracy. For example, you look at if they make every move in the same amount of time, roughly. That's very suspicious. Yep. Like giving them a check and there's one sensible legal move for them, they still think for some time. Yeah, of course. Now, again, a lot of those sorts of things will be a smart cheater will not do. However, telling the difference between a smart cheater and a good player is very difficult and requires a lot of time and nuance, right? And so if you think it's suspicious, if your gut tells you it's suspicious, then I don't know. Then maybe it's suspicious. Calculate you're going to play bishop e2 instead of bishop e6. That's why I played h5 instead of g5. Yeah. I should have. If I had taken, then it would be a different story, and I don't mind my position here. Again, what I really should have done is I should have played h4 before playing bishop h3. That's what my big misplay was. And then also knight h4 in this position. I completely forgot that what you do if your opponent moves the rook is you get the bishop. I forgot the way I'm supposed to play this opening completely. Messed up real early. Your sus, just report. I think deep diving their account and stuff is just a dark rabbit hole. Yeah, I agree. After a 50+ year absence, computer engines and efficiency, etc. are brand new to me. Interesting. I have a player in my club who's like that. Great guy. Might as well report if you lose. Couldn't hurt. I don't know. I mean, which I've fallen into. Fair enough. Honestly. See, the difficulty for me is I think just the thought process of trying to figure out if your opponent is cheating. If your opponent is cheating, is itself harmful to your mental during the game and outside of it as well. You get banned if you false report a lot? I actually don't know. I would assume they either ban you or they just ignore your reports afterwards. Might as well report if you draw just in case. Brilliancy. Now we're talking. So, and you should also report if the game's a little closer than it should be, you know? Like if you almost lost, right? Because you don't want them to beat you next time. They're probably cheating anyway. Don't even think about the other person. Yeah. What's the Fisher quote? I don't believe in psychology. I believe in good moves. Right? Now it's a bit of a exaggeration, but because that's also coming from the guy who said my favorite part of chess is when I break a man's ego. Now, given he said that quote as a joke on a TV, on like a TV special thing. If you were promised to be given $10,000, if you could get your chess to map elo to 2400, you're given 2 months. You could cheat using an engine. You think you could hypothetically get away with cheating? Probably. I never would, like you said. Or if we're saying personal morals aside, probably. I have a very old account. I'm a chess.com partnered streamer. I have a fairly good relationship. I've played a lot over the board. I have the ability to explain the moves I'm playing to a high degree. I mean, also coming from a Nazi. A Fischer was a lot of things. Make the opponent suffer, not gonna lie. That's true, true. That's my favorite part of chess. I think I probably could local. It's just as you go on longer and longer, it gets harder and harder, right? So 200 elo higher than my peak, and 2 months is probably small enough and short enough that I could get away with it, or a person could get away with it. Maybe I wouldn't be good enough at it, but a person could get away with it. But like if I had to stay at 2400, I'm not sure I could for like 2 years or something, you know? Maybe I could hit it in 2 months and then like fall back down or something, but they could in the short term, but the longer you go on, the harder it gets. What's your elo right now? It's only like 2040 something. Do I get a shout out from you if I reach 2400? Wait, since we're discussing cheating to get 2400, I'm assuming you don't want me to shout you out as a cheater. Unless. Unless. Without cheating. You should have led with that. Jokes aside, what do you mean shout out? People come in here and we celebrate elo gains all the time. That's... I might as well report the whole chat can't hurt. Exactly. Everyone post your chess.com names so Hubskirt can report you. Absolutely. Absolutely, Foger. Now, again, chess.com does targeted stuff, so the more suspicious your account is, the more likely it is to get checked. So that's what I'm saying, like 200 elo in 2 months, I could probably get away with not being checked. You have to type in the name of the person whose elo you're looking for. Anyway, I could probably get away with it. How could it get hurt if you're not sus? Oh, I hate it. I know you're joking, but man, that hurts. Yeah, just yoinks from the chess.com API. You have to type in a name, a chess.com username afterwards. Thank you for the follow, Cow Lord. Is it like Star-Lord but from the Midwest? Or wait, isn't Star-Lord actually from the Midwest? Hold on a second. Am I stupid? I'm on like 4 hours of sleep. It's been a long day. I think they spelled the name wrong, Mr. Agard. Or Grod. There you go. See, isn't it pretty cool? Chess.com does this thing where your elo changes more dramatically after you win lose games if you take a long break from chess.com. Yes. That's one of the changes the Glico rating system made. That's not a chess.com thing. Lee Chess does that too. And most applications of the elo rating system, or more accurately the Glico rating system, do that as well. That's the recommended way of using the Glico rating system. Because so the ELO rating system itself, the original ELO rating system, is actually trash. Void, I think I might be lower rated bullet than you. I'm like 1500 bullet. The original ELO rating system was horrible, but then Glico is the improvement, and Glico 2 is what most things use, which is the second improvement of Glico. And one of the improvements that Glico made over ELO is including a variance factor. I don't remember the exact name for it, so I'm going to use variance factor, which basically says, okay, in addition to the other bits of data about a chess player, stored with your elo is this number that basically is how it's a confidence interval, which is a normal thing in bell curves and statistics. It's basically how sure are we that you are that elo. The more games you play and the more reliably you perform, the smaller the larger the confidence rating, and so the more accurate it thinks your rating is. And so if you haven't played for a very long time, or if you play extremely erratically, a lot of wins, a lot of losses, the system isn't sure what your rating actually is, so it makes bigger changes because it's not as sure. It could be a lot of different things. Bye, Void. It's a completely normal thing for the elo rating system. As the infinitely wise Anish Giri once said, all chess players would be drug addicts if not for chess. We don't need drugs because we have Bullet. Dog, what's your chess.com name? If you don't mind me asking. I'm assuming dog is still here. Literally broke the elo system because of how based Magnus Carlsen's rating is. It's not embarrassing, Gloin. It's embarrassing to have a high bullet rating because that means you spend time playing bullet. Unless your bullet is over 3,000, having a bullet rating is embarrassing. Now it's Hupskirt's turn, but Hupskirt I think left. Oh no, he didn't leave. He asked if he was still in queue. If he missed his turn. Also, didn't Bro Isabella come back? I told them I would play with them, didn't I? Didn't I? I can't remember this stuff. Can I queue again? Unfortunately, not. Because it is 10:30 my time and I have stuff to do tomorrow. I have work tomorrow. And so I need to go to bed at a reasonable hour because I'm exhausted. Said that yet? Okay, I did. Oh, I did. Okay, Isabella, it's your turn. Your chess.com name is the same as your Twitch name, right? I'm fairly certain it is. If memory serves, it is. And if it isn't, that means I just sent a challenge to a random person. I remember one time I was at a classical tournament. I was facing this middle schooler, and he like brought up how he was 2200 bullet. I was like, oh, cool. In my mind, I was thinking we're not playing bullet, we're playing classical now. Yeah. Yeah, bullet. Yeah, it's me, but want to send a game in for you? Oh, excellent. Then fire away. Yeah, classical and bullet are so very different. I love classical, but I don't care for bullet a whole lot. Now, at some point, I do want to get back on the elo grinds, but I guess maybe after college finishes out and I have more time. Have you ever seen anything funny, weird in classical tournaments? You see a lot of weird stuff happen in classical tournaments. But see, the fun part is being the American in the room. I'm often the funnier weird thing in the classical tournament. I gotten kicked out of playing halls for wearing shorts before. And like nice shorts, like dress shorts. Seen a guy bust out a takeout box 2 boards over next to me and start eating fried shrimp. Oh yeah, you would get kicked out or here, mess with me. Victor, thanks so much for the follow. I had an opponent once. We were playing and he got a totally winning position, right? And he had like 40 minutes on the clock and I had like 10. He was up like a rook and a bishop or something in an end game. So he probably was going to beat me within the next 10 moves. And I had no time on the clock. And so I was like, oh. And so he said, I'm going to take a smoke break. It's been too long. And so he left for like 20 minutes. I mean, I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll just sit here. My elderly opponent was crushing me, but fell asleep and started snoring. Based. No. You're just such low tier of a threat. Ooh, the opponent has a Majora's Mask profile picture. A man of culture. Okay. And Rosabella has a picture that looks like a Powerpuff Girl, but I know it isn't. Okay. D4, D5. I once played against an Orthodox cleric, I think is the word. An Orthodox cleric, and beat him. And so my friend group was joking me afterwards that I was going to heck. I woke her up and she threw the game. Oh, that's horrible. Okay, what the heck? It's a remake of a Powerpuff Girl character. Uh-huh. Oh, I forget their names. You got Bubbles. Karo Khan? Yeah, let's see it. Let's see it. So far, so good. And see, this is the nice thing about the Karo Khan, right? Black has played Karo Khan a completely reasonable, good Karo Khan moves. The position's completely even. I would prefer to play Black here. Truth be told. Just very comfortable. If White isn't ambitious, Black just gets a completely reasonable, pleasant position out of the opening. Karo Khan is such a strong opening for this sort of thing. I don't play it because I don't enjoy the positions, but I have my little brother play it and I help him. Because I know it's a good opening for this sort of stuff. Bishop b4. Queen b6. Rook c8. I'd try to get castle a little faster, personally. That being said, the center is pretty close, so this isn't terrible, but it just always makes me a little nervous. Oh, pardon me. Okay, how everyone knows it. Well, I mean, the idea is as you get higher elo, you'll know it as well, right? It never becomes really bad, but it becomes an opening where you have to know the different things White can do. But it never becomes really bad. I also once seen a fight almost break out. It wasn't two kids, it was two adults. Game was already well over 5 hours. Got offered a draw, but the other was refused a lot. Eventually, the arbiters had to force the end of the game to a draw, since it was like getting to the third notation sheet. Well, passed over the 75 move rule. Immediately after, the guy said stuff like, what was the point of that? Before saying, you know, like, slamming the clock was disrespectful. Nowhere near refuted. Yeah, no, it's completely fine. I mean, it was in a blitz tournament. Once I had a guy once get up and push another guy, like shove him, because they got mad. That's happened before. I've made a couple of kids cry. That happens. Stuff happened. Weird. Queen b6. Sure. Why'd you say it so casually? Because how else am I supposed to say it? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Resign? I win? I shake their hand? I'm polite, but like, it happens. Knight a5. Ooh, I like knight a5 a lot. Bishop H. Evan, you're playing an excellent game of chess. I very much like the way you're playing this. Okay, this is the first move I don't care for. This bishop feels suspiciously close to being trapped. Womp womp. True. Now, maybe you can get away with it because of, like, bishop c2 threats. Again, this isn't correct yet because you have this. Oh, hold on a second. Where actually do we move the bishop? Hold on. There must be an answer, but I'm trying to remember what it is. Is it just playing g5? Is it just hoo-ha, monkey brain, go g5? Yeah. Yeah. How are they going to learn to thug it out if they don't get crushed? That's my logic. I'm always polite. I'm always as friendly as I can possibly be, but I think it'll be a disservice to everyone involved if I didn't try and win, you know? So it's just g5. And you're saying, okay, my king can stay in the center, center's closed, I'm going to put a rook on the g-file and kill you. Very barbaric stuff. You have to be very confident that you're okay here. And you are, but it's a little scary. Because, like, additionally, you really have to find stuff like a4 in this position. Yeah, again, g5 isn't even that easy of a move to find. Because if after takes, you do anything except play a4, then it's not good. Because then he gets the open a file for his queen and rook, and your king is no longer safe in the center. Again, with this, you've locked down everything. He doesn't have a way to break through, right? But that's not easy to see. Again, he can't break through here. But if you, like, take early or something, then... you know? So again, not only calculating g5, but then afterwards seeing that you can play a4 here and prevent any counterplay. Not easy. Show the shirt. I'm a nervous Rex. Okay, anyway. Is not an easy find. And so it doesn't bother me that you didn't find it. However, I'm pointing it out because it's an important motif. This is an important way to think about things, especially in the Caro-Kann where you get a lot of close centers. Castling's important, but sometimes you have to, in these close center positions, you have to be willing to give it up if you can keep everything shut down. Again, the important part, white can't break through on the A file, white can't break through on the C file, white can't break through in the center, white does not have a way to break through. That's what's so important about this position. That's what's vital about this position. If white could break through, then this would be a different story. Significantly worse for black. But as of right now, you're chilling. My last school tournament had too many participation trophies. Doesn't make sense how getting 11th place in under 1900 section doesn't get you an award. But if you're in the under 800, 30th place gets you a trophy. It was mostly incentive for the kids to play more chess. Yeah, I've seen that happen before. Here they don't do participation trophies. They do participation certificates. And so, like, everybody who participated in the tournament gets a little certificate saying, you participated in this tournament on this date. Thank you so much for coming, sort of thing. Which, there's the argument of it being a little meaningless, but it doesn't bother me. I think a certificate's more than reasonable. Genius. Now we're talking. Rigging tournaments. Now that's the type of thing I can get behind. Got about 10 trophies at home. I don't have any trophies. I have some medals. Because, see, the best I ever got was 3rd in the under 18th. In the under 18 category here in Macedonia. And 3rd didn't get a trophy. Hey, but that means you have one that's not for youngest in the tournament. Okay. Knight of 5. He took. Takes. 26, 23. Bishop e4. And you see the problem with your position. That one trophy I got from him gave me a god complex. Based. Oh, so you see the problem here. Now b5, b4, and you lose all endgames. Additionally, he can bring pieces in. Yeah, there aren't many tournaments where I can win money, and honestly, the problem is I'm not good enough to even win money at the tournaments where I can. There's a very good number of strong chess players. Like, most of the time I end up, like, breaking even with gas money if I go to tournaments. And that's if I'm having a real good day. F3, bishop c2, rook f2, rook c4. I appreciate the effort. Again, a5 is a very ambitious move. That's kind of the problem here, right? You didn't have to play a5 in this position. If you liked, you could have played knight c6 and all this a3 stuff. You just play like bishop a5 or bishop e7 and you're totally okay and you can play relaxed chess. The problem is you played a5, which is not a bad move. But it's a very, very ambitious and aggressive move. And so if you're going to play moves like a5 in this position, you have to be sure you are ready to deal with the consequences, you know? Knight c6 or even bishop a5 are both completely rational moves that are significantly calmer and are not as sharp. Twitch. Okay, so hold on a second. How is that pronounced? Also, did I thank Medu Vacuum for the follow? If I didn't, I'm thinking no. Is it Lale? Is it Lale? Lol? How was that pronounced? Correct me. And then Jovial, or no, Jovial. Jovial Nazgul. Out of all the adjectives I would think to describe Nazguls with, jovial, pretty low on the list. It paints a very bizarre picture. Not one I'm against, necessarily. Anyway. So, again, I mean, maybe in the Cimmerillion, you have Nazguls just chilling with the boys, you know? I don't know what, like, playing catch with their long-necked dragons of death, right? Can they drink? I haven't read the Cimmerillion, so to be fair, my little brother's working through it though, so I'll ask him. I'll ask him what sort of activities the Nazguls get up to, you know, in their free time. Because, you know, I would think being cursed to an eternal existence of torment and suffering because of your sins in life would give you a lot of free time to pursue passions. I was in it to win $1,000 from this one tournament, but I was running to get first place, and it was the final round. I made the mistake of thinking too much of what I could buy with that money. My items like Nintendo Switch, sandwiches, camera, phone, college, hot dog, and I lost my final round and won a third of the desired prize, which isn't too bad. Can't complain too hard about that, though. $300. Sheesh. Sheesh. Still pretty darn good. Anyway. A3, bishop c2. So again, in these positions, I would just recommend something simple like knight c6. It improves a piece, it guards this piece, it frees up squares for it. It's, in my opinion, a much more natural and a much more effortless move than playing something like a5. But okay. I feel like I've beaten the dead horse enough. again, this position is just not a good move if you don't find g5. Spoiler, the money went poof magic after a year and a half. Well, I mean, you know, that's kind of what you do with money. You spend it. Unless, of course, you're saving for something specific. But savings for adults who are boring and basic. And people like me who are in accounting classes. Welcome back. How was your trip? How was the journey away from my chat? Anyway. Rook f2, rook c4, b4. Let's just do b4. Castles, okay. So far, so good. Hey, thanks for the follow. Wait, you weren't followed before? I thought you already followed. Now was the first time I had problems pronouncing your name. Anyway. Bishop f4, knight xd4, bishop takes h6, just takes h6. Sorry. Why are you apologizing? Knight f6 check, king f8. Hold on a second. Okay. And so now your opponent got a little desperate. I'm not sure why they got desperate, but this does not work. Ooh. Okay, hold on a second. Again, knight f5 is just simpler. You protect the pawn and you attack the queen. That's probably the easiest move in the position by my estimation. And I would say there's inherent value in playing easy moves, especially in complicated positions, and especially when you're better in those complicated positions. Here you're winning, so playing moves that are brain dead easy, I think, is the play. He puts more pressure on the bishop, you just go bishop a4. There's no reason to overcomplicate it. Knight f5 is a nice combination of defense and attack. Bishop g6, while I understand the purpose, now his queen gets in. It's uncomfortable. Again, very uncomfortable. You have so much to think about. Oh, whoops. King f8, knight d7 check. King e8. Okay, very good. Knight c5, queen c8. Okay. Queen h6. Rook takes c5. I like rook takes c5 a lot. That's good awareness. It's realizing what's important in the position. It's realizing what's important in the position. This bishop is stronger. This knight is stronger than this rook. You get rid of the knight, you solve all of your problems at the same time. A very good move. Additionally, it weakens this passed pawn, which is going to be a thorn in your side long term, so it solves a lot of your problems. It's a very pleasant solution. Oh, that's tragic. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, wait. Oh, we're cooking? We take those. We take those. Wow, what an interesting game. Okay, so. Opening, excellent. No comment. Just good stuff. Very rational moves. I know the computer calls a lot of them not best. I don't care. These are all completely reasonable moves that further your position, play with the goals of the position. Nothing bad to say. All good stuff. Now, the bad is in these sorts of positions, you have to really understand the consequences of your actions. Actions have consequences in chess as in life. And so, while you can get away with a5 and then going for this, if you don't want to get away with it, if it's uncomfortable, or if you're not sure, then you don't have to. This is a position where you have simpler options. Because a5 doesn't just allow white to do that, it basically forces white to do that. You're threatening to trap his queen. Unless he plays rook ac1, which might be a better move. But even rook a1, you get like rook c4, and you're really forcing white's hand. You know, it's a very provocative move. And that's okay, but just be prepared. You can't be provocative and then back down, you know? You can't step up and then immediately step back as soon as your opponent steps up as well. Again, sometimes you need to bail out and get out of the position as quickly as possible, but so the reason we castle fundamentally is because since pieces all want to go towards the center, since it's the most important part of the board, the center has a lot of action happening, and pieces from all parts of the board can come to the center very quickly. And that makes the center usually a dangerous spot for the king. Now, the thing is, in these sorts of positions, that's not relevant, because if we look at each of those things, first, all the pieces going towards the center. No one's pieces can really get to the center. It's pretty well blocked off, so that's not super relevant. A lot of action in the center. Once again, it's completely sealed. There's nothing that no one can you can break through in the center, but you're never going to because your king is in the center. And then the last one, which is the weird one, is pieces can get to the center from all sides of the board, right? And that's the hard part. So obviously you can't get to the center by the center, but if white can break through on the queen side, that's just as good, and you'll be just as dead, right? So the tricky part is once you realize that white can't actually break through on the queen side in any meaningful capacity, after a4, then you can pretty easily tell that g5 is going to work, because you simply cannot be punished for it. White does not have the resources to punish you for playing in this way. And that being the case, okay, yeah, my king is in the center, but after I take one of these knights and open the g file, maybe get a bishop on e4, who knows? Knight on f5. Whose king is actually weak? Is it mine in the center? Yeah, this probably isn't a good move yet, but who's got the weak king in this position? Again, this is not a good move. These are not good moves. I'm just demonstrating the point. That's difficult to see. However, those sorts of ideas occur fairly often in the Caro-Kann, where you can consider staying in the center a little longer, maybe even long term, because it's closed off. But again, a big part of this is that the queen side's closed off too, or it will be closed off. Again, afterwards, you're making the best of a bad position by and large. But bishop g3, a wrong piece. In defensive play, you really need to think about what your opponent's threatening. Your opponent wants to take this pawn with check. That's his plan, right? Knight f5 stops that. It prevents it from taking, and now he can't really get the queen in. Getting the queen into the position right next to your king is super scary, because what compensation does he have for the bishop? He sacked a bishop. What did he get in return? He got this knight. That's an amazing knight. Yeah, that makes sense. A lot of people like those positions. They're very interesting positions. He got this knight as compensation for the bishop. He sacked a bishop to get this knight. And now, in his defense, of course you can leave gone. There's no reason you have to stay. Anyway, in his defense, a very strong knight. Very, very strong knight. It's on a dark square, so your bishop can't contest it. It's on the 6th rank, which is the perfect rank for the knight. It's right in front of your king. It's in a hole. This is a beautiful knight. Thank you, Tony and Cloak, for the follow. It's two separate people. Tony and then Cloak. I missed Tony's. His was like 5 minutes ago. Unprofessional. Anyway. So, this knight is incredibly strong. Is it worth a knight and a bishop? Not sure. However, another thing to know, knights and queens work really well together. And so if he can get his queen in, suddenly, it's not just the strongest piece on the board. It's the strongest piece on the board with the queen supporting it. Very dangerous. So, again, you either want to get rid of this knight as soon as possible, or prevent the queen from entering. Ideally both, but one at a time, right? Knight f5 prevents the queen from getting in. King g7 also prevents the queen from getting in, but this knight's a little squishy, and it's much better on this square because it's also targeting the weaknesses on g3 and h4, which are going to be nice things to poke long term. And it attacks the queen. It's a very useful move. Then he plays... I don't even know what white plays here. Maybe queen f4? No, it's stupid king b. I'm legitimately not sure what you play here. Queen b6, I can probably just take. I mean, maybe it's not the best way of going about it, but it's definitely a way of going about it. These are very annoying and strong pawns, but I don't think they're that strong. You gotta be very careful. But you can get away with this. Computer's also saying queen a8 is better, but okay. But then after that, I also like how you play in this position. Except that you just blunder your knight. This is unfortunate. It's been like a whole 30 seconds of this move. It happens to the best of us. I appreciate the tenacity and finding the perpet. Very good. So, interesting game. A lot to learn. I need to move faster through these dang games. Okay, Void's not here. That's good. Bob. Is Bob the Builder here? Not sure Bob the Builder is here. Glob, thank you so much for the follow. Or is it Globoloco? Oh, Bob the Builder is here. Nice. You sending me a challenge or am I sending you a challenge? 10-minute game. Just please make it unrated if you don't mind. I prefer playing unrated against viewers. It simplifies a lot of things. Back. Front. Yeah, I got you. Nice. Excellent. Up, down. What openings do you play, my good sir? So, what's your plan? Let's see what Bob the Builder does. Can he fix it? Okay. You know what? I'm calling the bluff. King's Indian? Yep. Oh yeah, did you see the thing I posted on Discord? Did you know or prepare for the... Yeah, I saw that. I think I responded, didn't I? I could have sworn I said real or something like that. Something stupid. I said, oh, so that's how you do that. No, I don't think I actually replied to the message because I forget to do that sometimes. But... in this position, I'm kind of calling the bluff, as it were. See ya. I'm calling the bluff. You're going to have to spend so much time trying to hold on to this pawn. or trying to get this pawn back, that it's going to end up being worse for your position long term. You will probably get the pawn back eventually. It's very difficult for me to hold on to it, but it's going to take a long time and it's going to be very annoying. That's my promise. That's my promise. That's why I love this line. It messes with King Indian's players' heads so much that they end up doing stuff like this. Which is not necessarily end of the world terrible for black, but it's very difficult to play and very different than a normal King's Indian. I'm a Grunfeld player? Well, this isn't even really a Grunfeld even. King's Indian? Well, that's even better. Even better. Bonus points. Because usually white doesn't take and hold on to the pawn in the Grunfeld either. To my knowledge. Again, I haven't played the Grunfeld in a long time, so my Grunfeld knowledge is rusty. Would you rather only be able to eat foods that are colored red or foods that are colored green? Can I cheat the system by dyeing the food? Is food coloring an acceptable cheat? No? What do you mean no? Boo. What do you mean, boo? Just because I figured it out, you're booing me. Aw, don't be like that. Well, how am I supposed to answer that? I like foods that are red and foods that are green. I'm not food racist. I endeavor not to be food racist, in fact. Should have gone for knight takes b4. Knight takes b4 is super interesting. I was calculating myself. I'm not actually sure if it was any good or not. My intention was knight takes, pawn takes, queen takes, knight d2. Or knight bd2. That was my plan. And my logic is that if you take the rook, I just play like queen takes, and I have bishop h6, and it looks uncomfortable. I was going to just sack the exchange. That's what I calculated also? Yeah. So it looks like we're on the same page. Probably better for you. I liked it, but it's not clear. It's far from clear. That being said, in this position, it looks to me like you're kind of just down a pawn. Which, that's definitely pleasant for me. How do I want to go about playing this? I really like the way this is turning out for me, but I feel like it's one of those positions where the next few moves matter a lot and will make or break a lot of things. I'm going to play ambitiously, because that's how I always play, and I like it. And I feel like I can get away with it. And I want to get away with everything you'll let me get away with. Crime. I'll take that. And just simplify my position. I like this move a lot, but I can't decide if it's good. Can't decide if it's good. Because after here, you probably go queen e7 or preparing bishop e6. And bishop e6 doesn't look the most fun. So I don't really want to give that to you. If I can avoid it. This knight wants to be on a better square. It wants greener pastures. So how do I get this knight on greener pastures? How does this knight get to greener pastures? I'd love to play this, but the problem is if I go here, you take with knights. It's difficult to tell if you can actually get away with taking with knight. Hold on, let me calculate that. Knight 3, knight takes. Bishop takes. Oh no, you totally can't. Right? Yeah, it doesn't look like you can. So, knight f3, knight takes e4, bishop takes g7, king takes g7. Knight d4. I guess I'm not to knight d4. Okay. I mean, even just playing queen d4 check, knight f6, knight g5 there is a pretty convincing way for me to just give the pawn back in return for some really stellar development and pressure. I think I'm just going to play rook e1. Would you have no eyebrows or no thumbs? No eyebrows. What kind of question is that? Thumbs are very important. Thumbs are way more important than eyebrows. That's like not even close. Because now I'm also kind of shadow threatening e5. I'm not sure if I want to play e5, but I have it as an option. Okay, do I want to play e5? That's the big question. I think I do. Because where does the knight go? It doesn't go anywhere, and if it doesn't go anywhere, I can play bishop takes e4. And that looks threatening. Or maybe I just play rook takes and I'm more direct about it. Bishop takes looks better, though. It does get rid of one of his primary weaknesses, but it also opens up this bishop, which is a fantastic piece. All of a sudden. I'm still not sure what I'm going to take with if he takes. I think he has to take, but... If you value appearance or everyday functioning ability. I feel like thumbs are also worse for appearance. Yeah, maybe you could wear a glove and, like, stick, I don't know, like, crumpled up paper in the thumb part and get away with it for a little bit, but people would very quickly notice they don't have thumbs. Thumbs would not even be worse from an better from an appearance perspective. At least not significantly so. This. Really couldn't decide which way to take. I still can't decide. I'm still not sure if I made the right choice. I mean, I'm still a pawn up. It's not as strong of a pawn anymore. However, I think I've made a good exchange, giving up some of the strength of the pawn for much more development than I had a few moves back. My position is significantly more active than it was, which is something I'm very happy with. Okay, so you're not only food racist, you're also thumb racist. This is very important information that I'm learning. You need to write this down. Combination of food racist and thumb racist is a brutal one. Not gonna lie to you. Jin, unfortunately, the queue is closed because it's like 11 p.m. my time and I need to sleep eventually. I am only human after all. That being said, I would find it understandable if you put the blame on me. Okay. This knight needs to go somewhere. Here, here. So difficult. It's gotta be here, right? It's gotta be here, right? It's very difficult. Because it's one of those positions where you kind of know that there must be a correct answer. The problem is just, it's very unclear what that answer is. You know? Okay. Fair enough. Guess the knight doesn't have a good square card. Interesting. I don't have time to calculate this position, man. There's so many interesting moves to play. I think it has to be knight b2. As annoying as that is, I feel like there should have been something better than knight b2. I'm sure there is, but time is now my biggest problem. My position's still excellent by my evaluation, but it's not easy to play an excellent position with no time. Wow, a lot of stuff going on. I'm really just trying to brute force go through everything that I can figure out, but it is just so much. Every move has so many consequences. This can't be that bad of a move, I don't think. I don't know where he moves the queen. I don't know what move he plays in general. I need to play faster. Okay. I think I have a plan independent of what queen move he plays. Dad joke. Why are chickens so cheap? They cost a bok bok bok. True. I've got to move it. This is a factual statement. Accurate representation of where I am currently. I have absolutely got to move it. Which the nice part is he's getting low on time as well. He's got a big enough time advantage that if we start blitzing moves, he's probably going to win, but... Okay, this is definitely good. Am I stupid? Maybe. Don't have time for this. Such a dumb move. Blundering the house. Ah, I was winning. I told you, if he got into a spam, he won. He had too much time. Oh, I was totally winning. So I'm going to blame it on it being 11 p.m. That's my cope. I think it's a pretty good cope. Gone is gone. Messed up the opening very badly. It's not an easy opening to play. It's really counterintuitive. It's saying knight takes is a disaster because of bishop d4. How does knight d2 look? Knight d2, it's still giving me +3. Forgot my line. I forgot my lines though. I believe it. This position is saying +3. And the best move is not to take the rook. Taking the rook is +4.5, +5. It really hates your position if you take the rook. Which, I mean, that doesn't surprise me. This is a very textbook example of when you don't want to take the rook. Yeah, it's very textbook. Like, you go knight f6. Rook b1 first, evidently, is a nice inclusion. Okay, sure. And then bishop h6. And, you've got a bit of a problem after knight e4. Then this knight comes in this way, and it's, not happy days. Not happy days. With that in mind, what we did was still pretty bad. Look at all the activity I have, man. He wanted f4. Oh, I was calculating f4. I couldn't justify it, though. I wanted rook takes? Interesting. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. I was really debating which one I wanted. Queen f3. But what about... Is it just saying you can just take? Okay, you can just take. Huh. It must have been seeing ghosts. Okay. Knight b2, bishop d4, knight c4, knight b6. So knight b6 is evidently terrible because you do have this rook takes d4 move. And so I should have played knight e5 instead. And here, look at this. After bishop g4, I'm supposed to play bishop takes f6. That's psychotic. Also super cool. How many times do you get to do that sort of desperado? You desperado the desperado. The exact tactic you were trying to hit me with, I hit you with. It's the Uno reverse card. Oh, you wanna sack against the defender? I'll sack against your defender. Sick. Sick. Thought I had queen takes b6. If bishop takes f6, bishop takes f6, queen takes b6, queen takes g4, and I'm attacking the rook. Yeah. I didn't see this, of course, but the rook hangs at the end. And even this is fine for me because I have queen takes b7. I am so winning here, it's not even funny. The amount of winning I am in this position is indescribable. And then I just throw my knight at you. And even this is playable. I'm better in this position still, but I ran out of time. Just push the pawn and you don't have any good moves. Man. Man. I was winning. I knew I was winning too. So close. I believe Q is empty. In which case, good timing. I am exhausted. Oh, that's just the word who. Yeah, Q is empty. GG's. Yeah, knight d7. I was just rook a8. Bishop d6. Can I play like rook d8? Bishop c7. Okay, so it doesn't quite work. GG's. Weird game. Interesting game. Oh, choked. Okay. Now, who are we rating? Gotta be somebody. Wing. Who are we rating? So I've got 3 people I'm following who are live. Let me just. It's been a while since I've seen any of them, so. Always that. You could just rate someone random. Yeah, we'll rate Stellar Chess. What time is it? 11:25? Okay, not terrible. Not terrible. I'm a little late. But, you know, I'm always a little late. That's just the vibe. That's the aesthetic of my stream, is a little late. Anywho, have a great night, y'all.